What's up, everybody? Welcome to video number 2, and we're going to create some offers that make clients actually say yes. And not just say yes, but set it up in a way where the relationship is win-win. Nobody really talks about this in the agency world, but the average client for the average agency stays about 3 to 6 months. And if you create offers that don't actually like keep people or set up kind of on the wrong footing, what happens is every 3 to 6 months you have to rebuild your agency brand new. So there's this never-ending grinding where you're always hustling, you're always selling. And so we want to not just make offers that get people to say yes, so that's obviously a big part of it, but sets it up for a long-term win-win where you actually keep clients and keep them happy. So we are going to get into that, and this is something that I wish I knew 10 years ago, and I've seen this work across so many agencies. Um, so when you first begin your agency, your offer usually sucks, and you got to just do whatever you got to do to make money, which looks like this awesome Zelda reference, which says "We'll cut grass for rupees." You just do whatever you got to do, whether that's a web design or an ad project or whatever. And I'll get asked from people. Let me just move my picture over here. I'll get asked from people like, "What works? Should I be doing Facebook ads, or should I be doing webinars, or should I be doing in-person networking, BNI, or Chamber of Commerce? Should I be blogging? Should I be doing SEO and getting myself ranked so they find me? Should I be doing content marketing and putting out organic posts here and all over the place? Should I be on LinkedIn? Oh, I heard they're higher net worth on LinkedIn. Should I be doing Google ads where they're searching for me? Should I do YouTube ads? People in videos big these days, cold outreach. Should I be doing Facebook groups? Should I be doing email lists? And should I be doing print media? And it's a complicated question, but it's actually a really simple answer because there's a common theme, and all of those are populated by people, right? So like people are on LinkedIn, people are at BNI meetings, people are going to read your articles. And at the end of those, if you want people to actually buy from you, it's going to end with an offer. And so if you get those things right before you put all the fancy pants, like, all the automation and all those kind of things, what you'll find is shit just works a whole lot easier. Um, So let's get the most important piece right, because this is something I wish I knew 10 years ago. And when you do this, you get to rock the Sunday morning freelancer uniform. Um, Unless you have Zoom meetings, then you got to put on clothes. But that's probably my Monday to Saturday uniform. And be cool about this is all I'm saying. Don't be the kind of freelancer that you chase clients before the project, but after you get their money, they got to chase you. Um, and worth noting, like I mentioned, we want to set this up in a way where your offers end the grind. And so, by the way, to illustrate this point, I've got an image of Groupon. This is the Vulcan Love Skin, Vagina, Anus, and Mouth Stroker collection. That's a real product, by the way. I didn't make that up. But we want to set this up in a way where you're retaining clients, because what happens if they're all staying 3 to 6 months, like every other agency, sometimes 12 if you're on the good end. You're basically restarting your business over and over and over all the time, which just leads to never-ending grind. We want to lead it to a way where you're doing two things. One, where you're actually retaining people, and two, where you're actually getting control of assets that make money. My favorite one, and the one we're going to talk about a lot in this group, is their customer list. It's getting control of their customer list and marketing to them, because that's actually going to be the easiest money that you're ever going to make. Check out more of that in the next steps videos when you get to video 4. But in the meantime, I just want to show you, like, to illustrate with numbers. So my last girlfriend was a Groupon junkie. If you've never used them, it's an online coupon. And a lot of local businesses use them, especially restaurants. And they do it to try and get new people in the door. So they'll offer a coupon to all the Groupon people. So let's say they have dinner for 2. It's normally $50. They'll offer a special on Groupon to sell it for 25. Now, it really sucks for the business owner, because they also got to give Groupon owner half the money. So even though they might normally sell their dinner for $50, they sell it for $12.50 in order to get somebody in the door. Now, imagine that same business. Well, before I mention that, one of the things is we went to probably 50 different restaurants on Groupon, like 50. there was not one of them I went to more than 3 times. And the vast majority were one and done. Like probably 90% of them were one and done. And so they never made any real money off of us. And it's because they sucked at retention. So imagine instead you get in the restaurant, they have a little thing at the table that says, hey, we'd love to give you a free dessert and 10% off your next meal. Just text VIP to 12345 and get on our list. And then they followed up with you and made more offers and did that. So we want to set your offers up not just so that you like get clients to say yes, that's important and getting paid, but so you're not just endlessly grinding and you're getting somewhere. The biggest secret in that I can give you is getting control of the customer list and the assets. Because imagine in that restaurant example that you have control of that customer list and you can pop out an offer every week. And we're going to talk more at length about this in this group, but getting control of that customer asset so that it becomes your asset and not that business's. So it's not branded to them and you're not just limited to sell, restaurant items. But number one marketing legend in the world, Dan Kennedy, says it is about the offer, stupid. Him or Jay Abraham, which I just dream of mine. I got to be on a podcast with Jay Abraham, which was amazing. So herein lies the struggle of most agency owners, okay? And this applies to you whether you sell web design or SEO and like backlink packages, or whether you do Google ads, or whether you do Facebook ads, or whether you help people do webinars, or you do sales copy. Doesn't really matter. This is the offer most agencies are making, or most freelancers. Give me thousands of dollars every month and I'll try to generate some leads for you. You got to close those leads yourself. And I'm going to generate those leads for you by either running some ads or building some backlinks for you. And eventually, after a few months, hopefully you make some money. But no guarantees, though. So when you think about that, you say, pay me thousands of dollars every month, stranger, and I'm going to try and generate some leads for you. And hopefully you make some money later, but no guarantees. So can you see why that kind of offer, which is like what 99% of agencies have, is like already paddling upstream? Hey, stranger, give me a bunch of money. I'm not going to guarantee anything. I'm going to generate some leads for you, and it's probably not going to work, right? Like that just doesn't sound very, very sexy. So I want to show you guys a little exercise in pimping an offer, and then we're going to get into actually pimping your offer. But just this one is kind of like to illustrate the point. How much would you pay for a steak dinner? 15, 20 bucks? Sounds about right, right? What if that steak dinner could be prepared by Gordon Ramsay? How much more would you be willing to pay for that steak? And what if you got to eat it with your celebrity crush, which for me is 1990s Shania Twain, who was like scorching hot, and whoever your celebrity crush is. And what if you got to have it on top, that steak, on top of the Empire State Building, made by Gordon Ramsay? Your celebrity crush is sitting there with you. How much is that steak worth? And how much is it worth? There's a banquet in your honor. And what if you get to have your most prized friends, families, or any special guest from history you'd love to have? Can you see how that steak's probably worth a whole lot more money? The reason why we did this exercise is because we're not talking about doing something different than what you're doing. We're really talking about adding some sizzle around the pieces of it, making your steak more sexy, but not changing fundamentally what you do. Shameless plug, by the way. I go into the offers way more detail. My book, Beyond the Agency Box, the phoneless, meetingless agency that creates lifetime happy clients without webinars, Facebook ads, Google, or SEO. You can get that on Amazon as well as Audible, Kindle. So please, struggling author, no, not really, but check it out. It really is an amazing book, and I've been doing this agency thing since 2007 and helped tons and tons of people to have huge success. So let's talk about 5 offers that work. So one of these is result guarantees. Now, this depends a lot on your niche and your industry. In essence, if you're the first person doing this, this will make you a lot of money. If you're the second, third, or fourth, don't bother. So a friend of mine built the largest Facebook ads agency in Europe. And he was the first one in Facebook ads to offer result guarantees. I guarantee you 2 to 1 on your money. Now, if you're offering a results guarantee, what most people worry about typically is what if they want a refund? What if I have to give a bunch of refunds? That will happen. Not as much as you might think, usually 5%, 10% of the time. But what you'll find is anywhere from 2 to 5 times as many people will say yes up front with the result guarantee, and is 2 to 5 times, as much in sales worth, 10% refunds, even if it was 25% refunds, which will depend on your agency, of course. I feel that's pretty worth it. So it depends on your industry. Like I said, if you're the first one doing it, do it. If you're not, it's probably just going to be another Me Too offer. Another strategy, guaranteed appointments. So business owners, as you may have noticed, don't really want leads. That's what we typically sell them, and they don't really want leads because most times they don't know what to do with them anyways. If you've ever had like a local business and they suck at answering the phone, or if you had a coach who couldn't close the leads they got, you know what I'm talking about. So guaranteed appointments. And from a practical point of view, what we're really talking about is usually adding a series of email follow-ups and then at the bottom adding a schedule link saying, hey, you can book an appointment here. And again, this will be involved, doing this right involves making an offer strategically. If you offer guaranteed appointments, your offer is going to be far, far sexier than everybody else that's just offering leads. This is the simplest way, by the way, to tweak what you're doing without changing a goddamn thing, which is to offer specific desirable lead types. Now, I noticed this when I was working with lawyers that not all clients are created equal, not just my own clients, but the clients for them. So, for example, I would meet a lot of law firms that offered everything. They're called boutique law firms. And if they got a client who came in the door for a traffic ticket, that was worth maybe $100 for them, sometimes 200. And they had to do tons and tons of traffic tickets to get ahead. At the same time, if they got a personal injury client, that was usually worth anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 on average for them. And within the personal injury, there was a couple of sub niches. The two that I found the most interesting were motorcycle accidents and trucking accidents. They could be worth anywhere from $80,000 to $100,000. Now, how many leads do you got to generate for a person that are worth $80,000 to $100,000 for them to come out ahead? Not a whole lot. So say you're working with dentists. What makes more sense, to sell him the $99 checkup patients or the $40,000 set of veneers? Or let's say you're working with e-commerce business. Do you want to help them sell their $20 plastic trinket or get people into a $99 a month recurring supplement package? Or if you're working with like an online coach, what's better for them, an $8 webinar registration or selling their $20,000 a year mastermind, right? So all things being equal for you, if it's no more work for you, you can focus on specific desirable lead types that to them represent the higher end of the scale. And then you got to do far, far less to keep them happy, right? Like you sell a dentist a $35,000 set of veneers and you only got one that month. He goes, my new Facebook ads guy is awesome. You get him one checkup and he's going, I'm going to have to fire this guy. I spent $5,000. So it's a simple strategy that'll change what you're doing. Another one of those, combined value. So I noticed this one in our lawyer agency is if we generated leads for lawyers, it would turn into a phone call and they sucked at answering the phone. And then if they got through both of those hurdles, they got the lead and the phone call, they didn't know what to do with the business they got. And so they very rarely got referrals. And I remember talking to a few other top lawyers. And one of the ideas that I got from one of them was one of the ways they got referrals is they simply printed out a business card that said, this gives you, this little business card gives you one free hour session worth $300. And they could give this to their friends and family as a referral tool. And then I also spoke to somebody else who her business was teaching law firms how to close on the phone, and she had a training package, and the package, it just basically let people listen to really good and bad phone calls, and then they would understand how to close like a top law firm. So one of the things we did is, in addition to generating leads, is we also gave them the little business cards so they could generate more referrals, and gave them a phone training package as well as a printable script that they could use and have in front of them, which is this little like mini flip chart that was kind of cool. And just doing that alone made it so nobody else offered what we offered. We were the only people that could generate leads, have you close like a world-class law firm, and then multiply those into referrals, right? But all that meant for us from a delivery point of view is I sent them a few video training, I mailed them a phone script, and I mailed them a few business cards that were already templated out. So combining values, especially in areas where they're weak, is really, really powerful. And then the last one, we're going to talk a lot more about this in the group, also in the next step videos, is something that I would really suggest you consider is something I call a beyond agency revenue sharing. And it works really, really simple. 99.9% of agencies focus on the hardest part of business, which is generating new. They're always obsessed with getting strangers to come in. But as I mentioned with the restaurants, what they really actually suck at is keeping people and upselling those people. It is far, far easier to put a little advertisement at the table that says, hey, get a free dessert and a 10% coupon by joining our list. And then to use that to market to people. And we use simple gratitude campaigns. I've seen this work instantly, 6 figures and beyond. So it's really, really powerful. You're interested in learning about that, check out the next steps video. Of course, like I mentioned, these are just a couple of the offers that I know that are working now, 5 of them. There's an infinite number of ways to make your offer different, but these are a couple that are the easiest to do, especially just change the lead types you're offering. So choose to do, I don't like doing homework, but at the end of your video offer, remember we mentioned the videos you're making, you've probably got a couple out there right now. There's 3 parts to them. You start personalizing and you say the person's name, say, hey, I noticed a problem, it's costing you money. Then you give them a couple of what you would do. You give them a plan, but without giving them how to do it. And then you end the video with your offer. When you use this, it's far, far more powerful. Say you're talking to a dentist. Now, instead of saying, hey, I can generate some leads for you on Facebook ads, you can say, hey, I've got a special funnel that's working right now that we're using to sell guaranteed appointments for veneers patients. If you think that would be useful to us, let's jump on the phone. And what he just heard is guaranteed appointments for $35,000 clients. His ears are going to perk up a lot more than if you just said, hey, I can run some Facebook ads for you. So when you do that, you're going to stand out. And you're going to get people to take you up on those offers. So if you're interested, by the way, in getting some help, especially with the beyond agency revenue, if you want to actually automate this, use our campaigns and templates, check out the next steps video because it goes into more detail about that. But so far, you've done a great job making videos, getting into conversations, you got potential clients. The real long-term challenge, by the way, is this will help you get clients and keep your cupboard full, but is consistently getting them results quickly, getting the leverage, and getting the controllable assets. This is the real money because it builds leverage in your business so you can not have to start over. Once you control the asset, by the way, you never have to have a phone call or a meeting with a client ever again, because it's your asset. So to give you a simple example of how this works, I just signed a roofing company in Southern California, and we sent a message to their past clients, and what we're doing, and this is still just in the just happening stages now, but we'll invite them to a private Facebook group where they can get discounts on all things home related. So once they get into that group, I control the group, not the business, but I get to start with their customers and their relationship, and we can sell them all kinds of things, mortgages and insurance and landscaping and other contracting services and home delivery and on and on and on, right? As many things as I want to offer them. And how hard is it to go to a mortgage broker and say, hey, I've got 500 people with homes. Happy to get you some FaceTime with them as long as we offer a special deal and you pay me a little cut if you make some sales. Are you interested? And when you control that asset, you get to make as many sales as you want, and you control the asset. You don't work for anybody. So there's no meetings, there's no phone calls. And then what happens is your agency actually scales, which is the best part because you don't get more headaches with it. So if you're interested in that, shoot me a PM and just say, hey, I'm interested, and we can talk more about that. So anyways, that's all I got. Video 2. Make sure to check out video 3 because we're going to do a little tweak. It takes about 60 seconds that are going to make your videos go even further. So may the force be with you.